Lieutenant Adam Blackwell stood at the viewport of his small diplomatic vessel, watching as the red planet of Zoraxis grew larger. This was humanity's first contact with the Zoraxian Empire, and he had been chosen to represent Earth. Adam was nervous but proud. At 32 years old, with 10 years in the United Earth Diplomatic Corps, this was the mission of a lifetime. "Preparing for landing, Lieutenant," said the ship's eye. "Zoraxian Control has granted permission to dock at their capital spaceport." Adam straightened his blue uniform and checked his appearance one last time. His short brown hair was neatly combed, and his diplomatic insignia gleamed on his chest. First impressions mattered, especially with a species known for their military might. The ship landed with a gentle thud. Adam took a deep breath and walked to the airlock. The doors opened to reveal a delegation of tall, reptilian beings with scales that shimmered green and gold in the sunlight. Their eyes were yellow with vertical pupils, and they stood nearly 7 feet tall. "Welcome to Zoraxis, human," said the lead Zoraxian. "I am Sub-Commander Thraz. You will follow me to meet High Chancellor Vexthor." Adam bowed slightly. "Thank you for your welcome. I am Lieutenant Adam Blackwell of Earth. I bring greetings and hopes for friendship between our worlds." The Zoraxians did not return the gesture. They simply turned and walked toward a large building made of red stone and black metal. Adam followed, noting how the Zoraxian citizens stopped to stare at him as they passed. None seemed friendly. The palace of High Chancellor Vexthor was impressive. Tall spires reached toward the orange sky, and armed guards stood at every entrance. Adam was led to a grand hall where dozens of Zoraxian officials waited. At the center sat High Chancellor Vexthor on a throne made of what looked like bones. "So this is what a human looks like," said Vexthor, his voice deep and cold. "Smaller than I expected." Adam stepped forward and bowed more deeply this time. "High Chancellor, I bring peaceful greetings from Earth. We hope to establish—" "Yes, yes," interrupted Vexthor. "Your message was clear. Earth wishes to trade and share knowledge. But what can your kind offer the Zoraxian Empire? We have conquered 12 systems. Our technology is advanced. Our military is feared across this sector of the galaxy. Earth believes in mutual benefit." Adam replied carefully. "We have unique technologies and resources that might interest you, and we seek to learn from your civilization as well." The formal talks continued for hours. Adam presented Earth's proposal for trade and cultural exchange. The Zoraxians seemed unimpressed, but not hostile. Then came the ceremonial meal. Adam was given a cup of Zoraxian wine. He raised it as he had seen the others do and said, "To new friendships and prosperous relations." The room went silent. Vexthor's eyes narrowed to slits. "You dare," the High Chancellor hissed. "You drink before the war prayer. And you speak of friendship while committing such disrespect." Adam lowered his cup immediately. "I apologize, High Chancellor. I didn't know." Silence. Vexthor stood, towering over everyone. "This human shows our sacred customs no respect. This is how Earth sends a diplomat, with ignorance and insult." "Please," Adam said, "it was an honest mistake. If you had explained the proper protocol." Vexthor moved with shocking speed. He knocked the cup from Adam's hand and grabbed him by the throat. On Zoraxis, such insults are paid for with blood. The guards surrounded Adam. He tried to remain calm. "High Chancellor, my government will consider this an act of war. Please reconsider." Vexthor laughed, a harsh sound that echoed in the hall. "War? With humans? Your species is young and weak. One human diplomat is nothing." "You don't understand," Adam said quietly. "Humans protect their own." "Take him away," Vexthor ordered. "Prepare him for public execution in 3 days. Let all Zoraxis see what happens to those who disrespect our ways." As the guards dragged him away, Adam managed to press the emergency beacon hidden in his sleeve. The signal would reach Earth in hours. He knew what would happen next, and he almost felt sorry for the Zoraxians. They had no idea what they had just started. Fleet Admiral Olivia Reeves was in the middle of a budget meeting when the emergency signal came through. Her wrist communicator flashed red, and she immediately stood up. "Meeting adjourned," she said sharply. The other officers knew better than to question her. In the command center of Earth's orbital defense platform, technicians worked quickly to trace the signal. "It's from Lieutenant Blackwell, Mom," said a young officer. "Code red distress beacon activated 43 minutes ago from Zoraxis." Olivia's face hardened. She had warned against sending just one diplomat to the Zoraxians, but the Peace Council had overruled her. "Show me everything we have on the Zoraxian Empire," she ordered. Screens lit up around the room with images, data, and reports. The reptilian species had a history of conquest and viewed other races as beneath them. They respected only strength and saw diplomacy as weakness. "Get me the president," Olivia said. Within hours, an emergency session of Earth's United Council was in session. Olivia stood before the world's leaders, her gray-streaked hair pulled back tightly, her uniform spotless. "The Zoraxians have detained Lieutenant Blackwell and plan to execute him in 3 days," she reported. "They've made no demands and have rejected all our communication attempts." President Garcia frowned. "What are our options, Admiral?" "We send a fleet," Olivia said without hesitation. "The UES Valiant can reach Zoraxis in 36 hours with our new drive technology. Captain Noah Sullivan is our best tactical officer." "A show of force could escalate the situation," argued Councillor Martinez. "With respect," Olivia countered, "the situation escalated when they threatened to execute our diplomat for a cultural misunderstanding. The Zoraxians only respect power. We need to show them that humans aren't the easy target they think we are." After 2 hours of debate, the vote was cast. Earth would respond with force. Captain Noah Sullivan was asleep when the call came. He was on the Valiant within 30 minutes, reviewing mission parameters as his crew prepared for emergency departure. "We're authorized to use whatever force necessary to retrieve Lieutenant Blackwell," Noah told his officers in the briefing room. "But the President wants to avoid all-out war if possible." Dr. Samantha Wright, the ship's diplomatic specialist, raised her hand. "Captain, I've studied the Zoraxian culture. They see compromise as weakness, but they do have a strict code of honor. If we can challenge them on their terms, we might avoid bloodshed." Noah nodded. "That's why you're coming with me if we make contact. First priority is locating Blackwell." The Valiant departed Earth orbit with 5 support ships. As they accelerated to faster-than-light speed, Noah studied Adam Blackwell's file. He had never met the diplomat, but now he was risking his ship and crew to save him. That's what humans did. They protected their own. In his prison cell on Zoraxis, Adam sat against the cold wall. The cell was designed for Zoraxian anatomy, with no bed or chairs suited for humans. He had been given no food or water since his arrest. A guard appeared at the energy barrier. "Human, a High Chancellor wishes you to know that your execution will be broadcast across our empire. Your death will teach others about Zoraxian superiority." Adam looked up, his face calm despite his fear. "You should know that Earth won't let this stand. There's still time to release me and avoid what's coming." The guard laughed. "What could humans possibly do against the might of our empire? Your species is young and weak." "We're young," Adam agreed, "but not weak. And we don't abandon our people." As the guard walked away, Adam closed his eyes. He had to stay alive and alert. Earth would be coming for him. He just needed to survive until then. In the darkness of space, the Valiant and its escort ships raced toward Zoraxis, carrying humanity's response to those who had dared threaten one of their own. The UES Valiant dropped out of faster-than-light travel at the edge of the Zoraxian system. Captain Noah Sullivan stood on the bridge, watching the red planet appear on the main screen. 5 Zoraxian warships detected, Captain, reported his sensor officer. "They're moving to intercept." Noah nodded calmly. "Open a channel to their command ship." The screen changed to show a Zoraxian commander, his scales darker than those Noah had seen in the briefing files. A sign of higher rank, Dr. Wright had told him. "This is Captain Noah Sullivan of the United Earth ship Valiant. We demand the immediate release of Lieutenant Adam Blackwell." The Zoraxian commander hissed. "I am War Leader Kraz. Your demands mean nothing here, human. Your diplomat insulted our High Chancellor and will pay the price." Dr. Wright stepped forward. "War Leader, by your own laws, a cultural misunderstanding during first contact cannot be punished by death. Section 12 of your Military Honor Code states this clearly." Kraz looked surprised but quickly recovered. "You know nothing of our ways. The High Chancellor himself declared the offense worthy of death." "Then we request to speak with the High Chancellor," Noah said. "He does not speak with lesser beings," Kraz replied. "Leave our system now, or we will destroy your ships." Noah's face hardened. "War Leader, we don't want conflict. But make no mistake, we will not leave without our diplomat. You have 1 hour to release him, or we will take action." Kraz laughed, showing sharp teeth. "Your primitive ships are no match for our fleet. We have conquered 12 systems and destroyed anyone who opposed us." "You've never faced humans before," Noah said quietly. 1 hour, War Leader." The screen went dark. Dr. Wright turned to Noah. "They won't release him, Captain. In their culture, backing down is worse than defeat." "I know," Noah replied. "Lieutenant Garcia, what did our scans show about their ships?" "Their shields operate on a frequency we can disrupt," Garcia said. "And their weapons, while powerful, are slow to recharge. We have superior speed and targeting systems." "Good. Prepare a tactical plan to disable their lid ship without destroying it, and ready a rescue team. We need to find out where they're holding Blackwell." On Zoraxis, Adam was brought before High Chancellor Vexthor again. The Grand Hall was now filled with even more officials and military leaders. "The execution has been moved to tomorrow," Vexthor announced. "Human ships have entered our system, making demands." He laughed. "They think they can threaten the Zoraxian Empire." Adam felt a surge of hope. Earth had come for him. "Chancellor, there's still time to avoid conflict," Adam said. "Release me, and my people will leave your system peacefully." Vexthor stepped close to Adam, towering over him. "You still don't understand. We are Zoraxians. We do not bend to threats. Your ships will be destroyed, and you will still die." A young Zoraxian officer hurried into the hall and approached Vexthor, speaking quietly in their language. The Chancellor's expression changed to one of disbelief. "Impossible," he hissed. "What's happened?" Adam asked, guessing from Vexthor's reaction. The Chancellor ignored him, barking orders to his military leaders. The hall erupted in activity. A guard grabbed Adam roughly and began dragging him back toward his cell. "What's going on?" Adam demanded. The guard looked shaken. "Your human ships. They just disabled our largest warship in seconds. No one was killed, but the ship is completely powerless." Adam couldn't help smiling. "I told you, humans protect their own." "It changes nothing," the guard snapped. "The High Chancellor has ordered the defense fleet to destroy your ships." "They can try," Adam said. In space, Noah watched as the disabled Zoraxian warship drifted powerless. The precision strike had worked perfectly. The other 4 ships were regrouping, clearly shocked by what had happened. "Message from War Leader Kraz, Captain," said the communications officer. "Put him through," Noah ordered. Kraz's face appeared, his expression a mixture of rage and disbelief. "This is your final warning, human. Leave now or be destroyed." Noah leaned forward. "This is my final warning. Release Lieutenant Blackwell, or next time, we won't just disable your ships." The true test of wills had begun. War Leader Kraz cut the communication link with the human ship. His scales darkened with rage as he turned to his officers. "How did they disable the pride of Zoraxis so easily?" he demanded. "Unknown, War Leader," said his second-in-command. "Their weapon penetrated our shields as if they weren't there. We've never seen such technology." Kraz slammed his fist on the control panel. The High Chancellor demands we destroy them. Prepare all remaining ships for attack. Back on the Valiant, Noah watched the Zoraxian fleet carefully. They're moving into attack formation, said Lieutenant Garcia. Hold position, Noah ordered. Let them make the first move. Dr. Wright studied the data on her screen. Captain, I've been analyzing their communications. There's something interesting about their biology in these medical files we intercepted. What is it? Noah asked, not taking his eyes off the approaching Zoraxian ships. Their ruling caste has a genetic difference from the rest of their population. It makes them stronger and more aggressive, but it could also be a weakness. Before Wright could explain further, the tactical officer shouted, "They're firing." Energy beams shot from the 4 Zoraxian warships, heading straight for the Valiant. But the human ship moved with incredible speed, dodging the attacks with ease. The Zoraxian weapons were powerful but slow. "Return fire," Noel commanded. "Target their weapon systems only." The Valiant fired precisely, hitting 2 more Zoraxian ships. Their weapons went offline instantly. The other 2 ships continued to attack, but couldn't hit the faster human vessels. "Captain," called the communications officer, "we're receiving an emergency signal from Proxima Centauri colony." Noah felt a chill. Proxima Centauri was Earth's first colony, home to over 3,000 people. "Put it through." The screen showed a terrified human woman, smoke filling the background. "This is Governor Kelly at Proxima Centauri. We're under attack by Zoraxian forces. They bypassed our defenses somehow. Civilian casualties there." The transmission cut off. The bridge went silent. Then Noah spoke, his voice cold. "They're attacking our colony while we're trying to negotiate. Dr. Wright, contact Admiral Reeves immediately." In her office on Earth, Admiral Olivia Reeves received the news about Proxima Centauri with a grim expression. The attack had killed over 200 civilians already, with more injured. The Zoraxians had sent a separate fleet while their main forces kept the Valiant busy. "They've made their choice," she said to her staff. "Transmit authorization code Black to Captain Sullivan. And prepare Project Nemesis for deployment." Her second-in-command paled. "Project Nemesis, but Mom, that's only 4. "I know what it's for," Olivia interrupted. "They attacked civilian targets without warning. They're executing our diplomat. This ends now." On the prison planet, Adam had been moved to a different cell. This one had other prisoners, all Zoraxians. One of them, smaller than the others with lighter-colored scales, watched Adam with interest. "You are the human they plan to execute?" the Zoraxian asked in accented English. Adam nodded. "And you are?" "I am Crit, former science advisor, now prisoner for speaking against the High Chancellor's wars of expansion." "Why would they put you in here with me?" Adam asked. Crit's mouth formed what might have been a smile. "Because tomorrow, we both die. I am from the lower caste. My execution will not be broadcast like yours, but it will happen just the same." Adam studied his new cellmate carefully. "You don't seem afraid." "I have been expecting death since I spoke out," Crit said. "But I am curious. Your people came for you, just a single diplomat. Why?" "Because that's what humans do," Adam replied. "We don't abandon our people, no matter what." Crit seemed to consider this. "The ruling caste would never risk themselves for a lower caste like me. Perhaps your species has something to teach mine." Before Adam could respond, an alarm began to sound throughout the prison. Guards ran past their cell, shouting orders. "What's happening?" Adam asked. Crit listened to the guard's words, his eyes widening. "Your ships have disabled half our fleet without destroying a single vessel." He looked at Adam with new respect. "Perhaps the High Chancellor has made a mistake in threatening your kind. It's not too late to fix it," Adam said, "but I'm afraid time is running out." Adam looked around the prison cell, searching for any weakness in its design. The alarms had stopped, but the guards were still in a state of panic. This might be his only chance to escape. "Crit," he whispered, Do you know the layout of this prison? The Zoraxian nodded. I helped design the security systems before I spoke out against the High Chancellor. Then you know how to get past them. Crit's eyes narrowed. Are you suggesting escape? It would mean death if we fail. We're already scheduled for death. Adam pointed out. I'd rather die trying to get free. After a moment, Crit nodded. There is a flaw in the cell barrier. The energy field weakens for exactly 2 seconds when the guards change shifts. It happens every 4 hours. Adam checked the small timekeeper hidden in the heel of his boot. The guards hadn't found it during their search. When is the next shift change? In 20 minutes, Crit said. But even if we get out of this cell, the prison is full of guards. We would need a distraction. Adam smiled. I think I can manage that. He pulled up his sleeve to reveal a small device embedded in his skin, standard issue for diplomats in high-risk areas. It can create a small electromagnetic pulse, not enough to hurt anyone, but enough to mess with their systems. Crit looked impressed. Your people prepare well. We try to think ahead, Adam said. They spent the next 15 minutes planning their escape. Crit explained that they would need to reach the communication center if they wanted to contact the human ships. When the time came, Adam activated the device in his arm. The lights flickered, and somewhere in the distance, an explosion sounded. It was bigger than Adam had expected. What happened? He asked. Your device must have interacted with our power systems, Crit explained. It created a cascade failure. As predicted, the energy barrier of their cell weakened. Adam and Crit slipped through quickly, finding themselves in an empty corridor. This way, Crit whispered, leading Adam through the maze-like prison. They moved quietly, hiding whenever guards ran past. The prison was in chaos. Alarms blared again, and through the windows, Adam could see fires burning in another section of the building. The lower levels hold political prisoners like me, Crit explained as they moved. The upper levels are for war criminals and violent offenders. And where are we headed? Adam asked. The communication center is on the middle level, but we must be careful. It will be guarded. They reached a stairwell and began to climb. Adam was grateful for his military training as they ascended 6 flights of stairs. Crit, despite his smaller size, kept pace easily. At the middle level, they peered through the door. 2 guards stood outside the communication center, looking nervous. We need a diversion, Adam whispered. I have a better idea, Crit replied. He removed a small badge from under his prison clothes. My security clearance. They never took it when they arrested me. The system hasn't been updated to show I'm a prisoner. Adam was skeptical. Will that still work? Crit shrugged. Only one way to find out. They waited until the guards looked away. Then Crit stepped out confidently, Adam following behind him. Crit spoke sharply in the Zoraxian language, holding up his badge. The guards straightened immediately, clearly intimidated. After a brief exchange, the guards stepped aside. Crit and Adam entered the communication center, finding it empty except for one technician who looked up in surprise. Before the technician could speak, Adam moved quickly, using a fighting technique he had learned in training. The technician slumped unconscious but unharmed. Impressive, Crit said. Now let me access the system. Crit's fingers moved quickly over the controls. I can open a secure channel to your ships. But we must hurry. The security override won't last long. Adam nodded. Can you also access information about what's happening? Why is the prison in such chaos? Crit pulled up several screens, his eyes widening as he read. Your ships have completely disabled our defense fleet without killing anyone. And, he paused, looking troubled. The High Chancellor has ordered an attack on your colony world. Proxima Centauri, Adam said grimly. How bad? Hundreds dead, Crit said quietly. I am sorry. This is not the way of all Zoraxians. Only the ruling caste desires such violence. Adam's face hardened. Open that channel to the Valiant. Now, on the bridge of the UES Valiant, Captain Noah Sullivan watched the disabled Zoraxian ships drift in space. His tactical victory felt hollow after hearing about the attack on Proxima Centauri. "Captain, we're receiving a transmission from the planet's surface," said the communications officer. "It's on an emergency frequency." Noah straightened. "Put it through." The screen flickered, then showed Adam Blackwell's face. He looked thin and tired, but very much alive. "Lieutenant Blackwell reporting, Captain," Adam said with a small smile. "I've made a friend down here who helped me escape." The bridge crew broke into cheers. Noah raised a hand for quiet. "Good to see you alive, Lieutenant. What's your situation?" "I'm in the prison's communications center with Crit, a Zoraxian scientist who was imprisoned for opposing the High Chancellor. We don't have much time before they discover us." Crit moved into view beside Adam. "Captain Sullivan, I must tell you something important. Our ruling caste is using this conflict to strengthen their power. Most Zoraxians do not support this war." Dr. Wright stepped forward. "This confirms my analysis, Captain. The ruling caste is genetically different from the rest of the population, more aggressive and power-hungry." "Can you get to an extraction point, Lieutenant?" Noah asked. Adam shook his head. "The prison is on high alert, but Crit has access to information about Project Nemesis." Noah exchanged a surprised look with Dr. Wright. "How do you know about that?" Crit answered, "Your communication with Earth was intercepted. I know that Admiral Reeves has authorized this project. If it is what I think it is, I beg you to reconsider. It's a targeted bioweapon," Dr. Wright explained, "designed to affect only the ruling caste of Zoraxians based on their unique genetic markers. It would cause their extinction while leaving the rest of the population unharmed." Adam looked shocked. Earth would really do that? Wipe out an entire class of beings? After the attack on Proxima Centauri, the president approved it as a last resort. Noah said grimly, "It's being prepared for deployment now." "There must be another way," Adam insisted. "Crit, tell them what you told me about your society." Crit's voice was urgent. "The ruling caste makes up less than 2% of our population, but they control everything. They have kept the rest of us in virtual slavery for generations. Many of us have tried to resist, but we lack the power." "So you're saying the majority of Zoraxians would welcome their removal?" Dr. Wright asked. "Yes, but not through extinction," Crit said. "Such an action would haunt relations between our species forever." The screen suddenly flickered as alarms sounded in the background. "We're out of time," Adam said. "They've found us." "Hold on, Lieutenant," Noah ordered. "We're coming for you." "Dr. Wright, contact Admiral Reeves. Tell her we need to delay Project Nemesis. We're going to try something else." The screen went dark as the connection cut off. Noah turned to his officers. "Prepare a strike team. We're going to extract Lieutenant Blackwell and his Zoraxian friend." On Zoraxis, Adam and Crit backed away from the communication console as the door to the center burst open. 4 guards rushed in, weapons raised. "Surrender, escaped prisoners," the lead guard shouted. Adam looked at Crit, who nodded slightly. They raised their hands. "Take them to the High Chancellor," ordered the guard. "He wants to speak with the human before the execution." As they were marched out of the communication center, Adam whispered to Crit, "This might actually work in our favor. If we can speak directly to Vexthor, maybe we can convince him to end this before it's too late." "The High Chancellor does not listen to reason," Crit replied quietly. "But perhaps he will listen to fear when he learns what your people are preparing." "Let's hope so," Adam said. "For all our sakes." In the Grand Palace, High Chancellor Vexthor paced angrily, his tail lashing back and forth. Reports of the human's technology had shaken him, though he would never admit it. And now, the escaped human prisoner had been found communicating with the enemy ships. "Bring them to me," he hissed to his guards. "It is time to show this human the true power of the Zoraxian Empire." Adam and Crit were brought before High Chancellor Vexthor in the Grand Hall. The room was filled with members of the ruling caste, their dark green scales gleaming in the red light of Zoraxis's sun streaming through tall windows. "The escaped prisoners, High Chancellor," announced the guard, pushing them forward. Vexthor circled them slowly, his tail dragging on the polished floor. "You continue to surprise me, human. No one has ever escaped that prison before." "Perhaps you underestimated humans," Adam replied calmly. "And you," Vexthor said, turning to Crit, "a lower caste betraying your own kind to help an alien." Crit stood straighter. "I betrayed no one. I helped someone who was unjustly imprisoned, while you betray our people by leading them into a war they cannot win." Whispers spread through the hall at Crit's boldness. Vexthor hissed in anger. "You speak of things you do not understand," the Chancellor said. "The human ships may have temporarily disabled our fleet, but reinforcements are already on their way." "Chancellor," Adam said urgently, "you need to understand what's coming. Earth has authorized Project Nemesis." The name meant nothing to Vexthor, but Crit gasped. "Project Nemesis is a targeted bioweapon," Adam continued. "It affects only the ruling caste's unique genetic markers. If deployed, it will cause the extinction of your entire caste, while leaving the rest of the Zoraxian population unharmed." The hall fell silent. Vexthor's eyes narrowed to slits. "You lie," he said, but there was uncertainty in his voice. "He speaks the truth," Crit said. "I saw the communications myself. Their scientists have identified the genetic difference that makes the ruling caste distinct. The weapon targets only that genetic sequence." One of the Chancellor's advisors stepped forward. "High Chancellor, if this is true, we must reconsider our position." "Silence," Vexthor shouted. "This is clearly a trick to make us surrender." He turned back to Adam. "Your people would not dare to wipe out an entire caste. You humans claim to value life." "We do," Adam said. "That's why I'm urging you to end this now before it's too late. The attack on our colony changed everything. Hundreds of innocent civilians died. Earth will respond." In space above Zoraxis, the UES Valiant prepared for its most dangerous mission yet. Captain Noah Sullivan addressed the strike team in the launch bay. "Lieutenant Blackwell and his Zoraxian ally are being held in the palace in the capital city," he explained. "We have their exact location thanks to the tracker in Blackwell's emergency beacon." Dr. Wright stepped forward. "I've just received word from Admiral Reeves. Project Nemesis is ready for deployment, but she's given us 6 hours to try our plan first." Noah nodded grimly. "Then we have 6 hours to extract our people and convince the Zoraxian leadership to stand down." He looked at each member of the strike team. "This mission is completely voluntary. We'll be dropping into hostile territory with minimal support." Every member of the team stayed in place, ready to go. Noah felt a surge of pride. "Let's bring our people home," he said. Back in the palace, Vexthor had retreated to consult with his inner circle, leaving Adam and Crit under heavy guard. "Do you think he believed us?" Adam asked quietly. "He believes enough to be worried," Crit replied, "but his pride may prevent him from acting on that belief." Suddenly, the palace shook with a powerful explosion. Alarms blared throughout the building. "What was that?" Adam asked. A guard rushed into the room. "High Chancellor, human ships have entered the atmosphere. They're attacking the defense installations around the palace." Vexthor emerged from his private chamber, his face twisted with rage. "Kill the prisoners now," he ordered. "Then evacuate to the bunker." As guards moved toward them with weapons raised, Adam looked at Crit. "I'm sorry I got you into this." Crit's mouth formed the Zoraxian equivalent of a smile. "Do not apologize, human. In meeting you, I found hope for my people." The guards took aim. Adam closed his eyes, waiting for the end. A blinding flash of light filled the room. When Adam opened his eyes again, the guards lay unconscious on the floor. In the doorway stood Captain Noah Sullivan, and a team of human soldiers. Lieutenant Blackwell, Noah said with a smile, I believe your diplomatic mission is concluded. Time to go home. We need to move quickly, Captain Sullivan said, tossing Adam a weapon. The palace is in chaos, but it won't last long. Wait, Adam said. We can't leave yet. Not without Vexthor. Noah frowned. Lieutenant, our mission is to extract you and your ally. We have less than 5 hours before Project Nemesis is deployed. That's why we need Vexthor, Adam insisted. If he orders a complete surrender and calls back the ships attacking our colony, Earth might stand down. Crit stepped forward. He fled to the royal bunker. I know the way. Noah hesitated, then nodded. Lead on, but we move fast. They raced through the palace corridors, encountering little resistance. Most guards had fled during the human attack. Crit led them down a hidden stairway to a heavily reinforced door. The bunker entrance, he explained. It requires ruling-cased DNA to open. Stand back, ordered one of the strike team's soldiers. He placed a small device on the door. There was a soft hum, then the door slid open. Inside, they found Vexthor and 5 of his top advisors preparing to evacuate in an underground transport. Stop, Noah commanded, his team aiming their weapons at the Zoraxians. Vexthor hissed in fury. How dare you invade our sacred bunker? Adam stepped forward. High Chancellor, this is your last chance. Surrender now and recall your ships from Proxima Centauri. If you do, there's still hope to prevent Project Nemesis. Never, Vexthor spat. I would rather my entire caste perish than bow to humans. One of his advisors, an older Zoraxian with faded scales, turned to Vexthor. High Chancellor, reconsider. Our people will survive without us, but if we can prevent our extinction. Silence, Trax. Vexthor shouted. This is about more than survival. This is about honor. No, Crit said, stepping forward. This is about your pride. You cannot accept that you made a mistake when you threatened a human. For a moment, no one spoke. Then Adam's communicator beeped. It was Admiral Reeves. Lieutenant Blackwell, she said, her voice clear through the device. Captain Sullivan, I'm glad to see you're alive, but I must inform you that the Zoraxian attack on Proxima Centauri continues. We've lost over 500 civilians now. Adam looked at Vexthor. Order them to stop. Now. The High Chancellor's eyes burned with hatred, but for the first time, there was also fear. And if I do, what guarantee do I have that you won't deploy your weapon anyway? Noah stepped forward. You have my word as a captain of the United Earth Fleet. Stop the attack, and we will negotiate a peace. Vexthor looked at each of them, then at his advisors, who nodded urgently. Finally, his shoulders slumped. Very well, he said. He pressed a communication device on his wrist. This is High Chancellor Vexthor. All ships at the human colony are ordered to cease attack and return to Zoraxis immediately. Authentication code. Ruler Prime Alpha. Admiral Reeves' voice came through again moments later. Our sensors confirm the Zoraxian ships are withdrawing from Proxima Centauri. 3 months later, Adam stood on the observation deck of the newly established Earth Embassy on Zoraxis. Beside him stood Crit, now wearing the formal robes of the Transitional Council leader. The new government elections are next month, Crit said. For the first time, all castes will vote. Adam smiled. Earth is pleased with the progress. The trade agreements are benefiting both our worlds. And what of Project Nemesis? Crit asked quietly. Dismantled, Adam assured him. Admiral Reeves personally oversaw its destruction once the peace treaty was signed. They looked out at the capital city, where humans and Zoraxians now walked together through the streets. In the distance, the palace where Vexthor had once ruled stood as a museum, a reminder of how close their species had come to conflict. You know, Adam said thoughtfully, in an odd way, we owe Vexthor thanks. His threat against one human diplomat led to the liberation of your entire species. Crit made the Zoraxian gesture of agreement. Sometimes the greatest changes come from the smallest beginnings, but I think the lesson my people learned is most important. What lesson is that? Adam asked, though he already knew the answer. Crit looked at him, his eyes reflecting the red sunlight. Never threaten a human. Your species protects its own, even if it means facing extinction to do so. Adam nodded. Let's hope neither of our species has to learn such a lesson again. Together, they watched as the sun set on a new era of peace between their worlds.